Mike McConville here once again, StringTechWorkstations, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. Welcome back. We have a SG guitar that was sent up from Pennsylvania. As you can see, Scott has basically tie wrapped the broken neck back on. Great job of packaging there, Scott. That splice and those tie wraps was good enough to hold it more or less intact. We're going to start into this job, and once again we'll give you a play-by-play. So we will start by removing these nylon tie wraps and get a real good look at this joint. This neck is going to need to be completely re-glued. It may need to be reset. We'll determine that as we move along here. One of the most important and most critical factors is, as you've heard me say in countless other videos, the neck to body angle is everything. Let's take a look. So I'm going to remove this pickup. We're going to kind of fit that in dry run again, and we'll need to check that neck to body angle thoroughly before we go any further. Let's start by getting this neck pickup out of the way. This 10% of preparation is going to save me 100% grief later on. You'll see what I mean. I've attached an extension lead. I'm just getting this shrink wrap. The cavity for these wires is pretty tight. I don't want to have to deal with that later when we go to feed the wires through and put the pickups back in. Okay, so now I can pull this right through without straining on anything. And there we go. So we've got lots of length on that. So I'm just going to snip that off for now. So when we go to reinstall the pickup, I'll just resolder it with that shrink wrap tubing on there and pull it through easily, unobstructed. And now we can check this dry run, the neck to body angle, without having the pickup being in our way. My single biggest concern was the original neck to body angle, which puts the bridge here, and I think we're good there. Okay, so we don't have to change anything as far as the original neck to body angle goes. It's great. Gives us lots of real estate for adjusting things up and down. We'll be able to set this action wherever Scott prefers to have it. And this is a good thing. This type of neck joint is weak by design, and you can see why those single pickup, bridge pickup only, melody makers like that one I just finished were so desirable, because it allows you to bring that tenon right deep into the body, as deep as you want. Because of the severity of the break and the minimal amount of actual contact surface for the adhesive, I've opted to go with a 2-part 36-hour Cure Aviation epoxy. The open time on this glue is about 45 minutes. And that gives us sort of enough grace time to kind of line things up, realign them slightly if we have to, get the clamps in place, and then just let it sit. I'll let this cure for like 72 hours. We'll give it lots of time to set up before we do our reassemble. Between the neck assembly and the actual body platform itself, this allowed me to line up the neck and the body, support the body and the neck, and do my dry run before I spread that aviation glue and make sure we had a perfect fit. Here we go, showtime. You don't want to put too much of this stuff on, just enough to kind of fill the cavities and give us a good bond. There's going to be some finishing touch-up on this, it can't be avoided. Got a pretty good fit actually, Scott. You did a good job not disrupting anything too much. Like I've mentioned in those other videos, you know, all the broken headstock videos, it's still not the adhesive that's important. It's the mechanical and structural integrity of the joint. So no matter how good your adhesive is, I mean, you can't go reefing on this neck. It will definitely break again if you're not careful. This is the right adhesive for the job. In this case, this is definitely the route to go. You can see why you need all that open time to get this done. There's so much geometry going on here with all these various surfaces that need to be coated that your regular hide glue or even just regular carpenter's glue would start to tack way too quickly to allow you to get these pieces together. Okay, this is how I've set up on the TechDeck. That void between the rails allows me to put those clamps in and clamp that very small gluing surface. When I did my dry run, I lined up the neck with the neck assembly surface. There's a little bit of that aviation epoxy that I need to clean up on the inside of that cavity. I'll do that and then just set this baby aside for the next couple of days.